Still in the break-in period. I'm done about 250 miles on the bike. But yeah, I'm super curious to see how far this bike will go. I think one of the interesting things, you know, in this world of YouTube, I saw a video from a fellow Brit last night on the MT10, another bike that has kind of a bad reputation for terrible gas mileage, and he got 150 miles to the gallon with moderate riding around town, a little bit of highway. And he'd even said that when he'd taken a longer trip, he got about 170, I think, if memory serves me correctly, on an MT10, which is kind of nutty to me. He did mention he had a tune on the bike, but yeah, let's see. This is a completely stock bike. Like I said, I purchased it a few days ago. Just trying to tear through the 600-mile first service interval quickly so I can get on with my life. But yeah, I'm very curious to see. I also have to tear through the 600-mile first service interval quickly, as I just made appointment on Wednesday. It's Sunday now, so I need to tear through another 350 miles in the next couple days, and unfortunately I think it's going to rain tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see. I did 250 miles in 2 days, so yeah, we should be able to do it. It was better than waiting 2 weeks to get the service, which I would have easily you know, exceeded 600 miles in that time. But yeah, let's see. Got a full tank now, I should say. Gotta open the manual up. A lot of information on this really cool, you know, like 80s themed dashboard right now. Yeah, the screen reminds me of probably like a Game Boy with some additional colors during the day, and then at night it's almost got this this blue tinge to it that reminds me of the motion tracker from Aliens. Very cool. I mean, like I said, had it not been for this gas tank situation where I think it was reduced from 17 liters on the GSX S1000 down to, God, I think it was 13. So I think I was averaging about 40 miles to the gallon, but again, I don't know you know, what the reserve's like. So I guess we're gonna find out. Let's turn on my Cardo. Just put these bar and mirrors on yesterday. Yeah, just not a fan of the bug eye mirrors that come stock with so many bikes, but of course it's gotta rain. It didn't say it was gonna rain. Not too bad. Not too bad. Just spritzing. Yeah, hopefully this video will be helpful for those that maybe didn't consider the Katana. I did it myself. I mean, the backstory for me getting this bike was, unfortunately, about a month ago, I bought a Z900 2020 in that candy plasma blue color, and the bike, it burned and was totaled. The rear end caught on fire. Still not sure what happened. I'm assuming electrical fire, but yeah, I've got second-degree burns on my back, which I'm still healing. It's funny enough, it's actually more comfortable to ride the bike where I'm kind of a little bit forward on this bike. Obviously, I'm not in a Superman position like a super bike or a super sport, but yeah, it's definitely a lot more comfortable. The seat is actually very comfortable. I wasn't expecting too much on a stock seat, but so yeah, so bike was totaled. You know, insurance company cut me a check, and yeah, I was just doing some shopping. I think at the time, you know, this bike wasn't even on my radar given the price. I mean, out the door in the United States, I mean, with a 13.5 MSRP plus, you know, $500 destination or you know, freight charge plus tax, you'd probably be looking at a ballpark of 15 grand. Whereas the you know, the Z900, you know, was 9 grand MSRP, or I think 9,300 for the candy or the candy plasma blue, and you know, at the door you'd be looking at probably less than 10k. You know, 5k difference. I mean, that's substantial. So obviously this is a, you know, significantly more powerful bike. You know, generating, you know, 150 HP at the crank versus the 125 at the crank for the Z900. But yeah, roughly the same weight. I think they're both, you know, about 465 pounds. You know, wet. But yeah, I mean, it's evident that that extra, you know, 55 cc displacement on this engine, and just you know, being that long stroke Gixxer 1000 engine, yeah, the power is more immediate. The torque, I think, is definitely better at low to mid RPMs. But yeah, I mean, for the value, I think the Z900 is excellent value for the money. In fact, I'd be hard pressed to name another bike that had that much horsepower for that much money. And again, that's why this bike, you know, never even came into the equation, you know, being 5 grand more out the door. But yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if again, the looks of the bike were so subjective, or maybe the gas range was subjective, but yeah, I don't think this bike did very well in this country. I mean, I can only make that assumption based on the fact that they're blowing these bikes out now. I got it MSRP for 9,998, so under 10k. Obviously, there were you know, taxes and you know, dealer fees that brought it up to about 11.5. But it was nationwide. It was everywhere. In fact, there was a dealer in Oklahoma City that made me a great deal. It just unfortunately would take 3 weeks to ship here, and with the time of the year that we're in, I mean, we don't have that much riding time left. So yeah, it was just one of those things that you know, I wasn't willing to wait that much longer and potentially have something go wrong in transit getting here, where either I wasn't happy with the bike or there was damage to it, because I'd never seen the bike in person. You know, obviously in this post-COVID world that we live in, you know, going to a dealership isn't as simple as just, you know, going down there. A lot of places are appointment only now, and you know, inventory isn't great. I think, in fact, I think that the pandemic, you know, good for motorcycle sales. I think it actually boosted them. Inventory is pretty sparse everywhere around here. You know, all the major places, you know, such as Motorcycle Mall in North Jersey, or cross-country cycles in Metuchen. Yeah, the inventory is not very good. I had to drive out to PA to get this bike about an hour and 20 minutes. But yeah, so yeah, so going back to it again, it wasn't even on my radar. Like I said, you know, too expensive. And I think the sister bike that this platform was generated from, the GXS S1000, or any of its variants like the F or the Z. Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, the pricing was, you know, obviously, you know, at the door, probably a couple grand, maybe $1,500 more than Z900. And I don't think inventory was available either. You know, I did consider it, but nobody had inventory. So I don't think it was, again, you know, a hot selling product. I think, you know, Suzuki, mechanically speaking, are bulletproof. I think engine-wise and, you know, transmission-wise, you know, excellent machines. I just think they're maybe a little late to the party on certain models with technology. you know, where you're seeing, you know, LED lights or TFT screens on new bikes. I mean, obviously for 2020, the Z900 got both. So I mean, I can't make the statement that you know, Kawasaki been doing it on that model per se for many years, but I think on a ton of Suzuki models, I think there's still halogen bulbs, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I just don't think you know, the appointments on the bikes are up to the times. Obviously, I think Suzuki comes in at a great price point, and maybe that's the reason why. But you know, for a lot of people, something, you know, maybe as simple as you know, like LED lights, it's maybe a non-negotiable, where they're just like, okay, I'm getting more for my money with a different brand, whether it be Yamaha or Honda or Kawasaki, you know. But yeah, kind of interested again to see how this bike does, because you know, a lot of people, they were you know, kind of disappointed about maybe the styling that affected the gas tank on this bike, because I think it definitely was I wouldn't want to say homage to the Katana, but maybe like just a love letter to some of the design cues. The Hans Muth design, the German designer that Suzuki, I guess, employed in the probably the late 70s, early 80s for the 1981 release of the Katana 1100. But yeah. Okay, getting on the highway. I've done 20 miles so far. Sorry, 17 miles. We're averaging 38.3 miles per gallon. Kind of curious to see if that starts going up. Obviously, I'm trying to vary the RPMs and gears in the 600-mile braking period, but cool car. It's awesome. The guy looks like he's having some fun. Yeah, let's see. Got some horses in front of us. Yeah, the MPG is going up pretty quickly. We're at 38.3 and we're already at 38.5 in a matter of probably 30 seconds. So yep, 38.6. So I'm sure that'll continue to go, you know, up into the 40s. But I'm actually going to be getting up the highway in probably 1 mile. Yep. So for those that have never been to Jersey, you know, obviously seeing the journey that I've taken, I mean, this is what most of Jersey looks like. It's farmland, especially where I live. It's not, you know, Newark Airport and you know, an industrial center that looks like you know, old Detroit from RoboCop. It's actually very, very nice. It is obviously very densely populated, but yeah, very, very rural. Okay, so, I have not tested the top speed of this bike quite yet, but you know, it's got legs on it. You know, about $5.5 grand in fifth, and we were cruising comfortably at 80 miles an hour. I think from what I've read, and actually, I take that back. What I've seen, there was a gentleman, I want to say maybe from Thailand, that did a top speed run on this bike, and yeah, he was pitting it at, I think, 258 kilometers an hour, 259, memory serves me correctly, which translates to 160 mph. So pretty respectable for a naked bike, you know, with no wind deflection up front. I mean, that windscreen is tiny. I'm feeling the brunt of the wind, you know, on my chest. I mean, I'm obviously back down to 52, and I don't really feel anything right now, so it's not terrible. But I would have to imagine at 160 miles an hour, you know, pitting the engine to redline, I would have to imagine that would be a ton of wind. He was probably tucked, but certainly probably not as pleasant as you know, riding a fully faired bike. Okay. The other thing, I've still kind of hesitant on wet roads with these brand new tires. You know, they need to be scrubbed in, and I was hoping I'd have a dry day to to kind of increase the lean angle a little bit more on both sides. But got some speed bumps. Oop. Okay. So I'll probably be shutting the video off for, or just edit it out, because this is probably going to be boring for you guys. But yeah, we'll come back, you know, maybe at the 50-mile point and see just how low the gas mileage is, and the range is left still on 5 bars, which is kind of cool. If you were to think that, you know, we've done 25 miles right now, and say 1 bar dropped, yes, you do 4. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe that would be 125 miles. So again. Okay. So 136, I'm sorry, 137 now. 2 miles past Ken's guesstimate. Okay. Gonna make a turn here. And yeah, I'm gonna go a couple miles up the road to where there's basically gas station after gas station, and yeah, kind of curious to see if we make it that far or if this is it. So I ate at that restaurant over there, El Patron. It was awesome. You know, just before obviously the whole pandemic kicked in, and yeah, they had some good food, and the drinks were pretty good. They had something called a Mexican Mule. So one of my favorite drinks is the Moscow Mule. So obviously vodka and ginger beer and lime juice, and that substituted the vodka for silver tequila. Pretty damn good. And they also had beer with hot sauce in it, which was pretty tasty too. It just fit and paired well with the dishes they were serving. So yeah, I hope to go back in the near future when things return to normal. Okay, 138, and we are still kicking. Nope, we are not kicking. That's all she wrote. That is all she wrote. Okay, clutch in. You know, I'm hoping I can turn around right here. That is it. Okay, the experiment is over. We didn't hit 140, but we got a hell of a lot further than I ever thought we would. So yeah, damn near 140. Let's fill up. Okay. Funnel in. Okay. Some 93 octane. Let's see, one more. Okay, 2 liters of gas. That'll definitely get me to the gas station, which is a mile, 2 miles down the road. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Let me get the insects that are crawling in my eyes right now. They're probably half dead. Okay. In you go. So, yeah, there you have it. 138.3, averaging 41.2 mpg. So, see if the bike starts. Yep. And yep, still on E, but and some gravel. Let's see. So, experiment complete. 138.3.